Hi people, so today we're going to learn a little bit of Acarajé. It's a Brazilian dish, northeastern Brazilian dish. It has some African roots to it. It's like a dumpling, and then we're going to have to fill the dumpling with some vatapá and some shrimp, fake shrimp. For the dumpling we're going to use onions, black eyed peas. We're going to use some salt, pepper, and chives, and then for the filling we're gonna have cashews, parsley, garlic, a little bit of lemon, bell pepper, and any sort of a chili like cayenne, or we have jalapeno. We're gonna use some ginger, salt and pepper to season. We also for sure have the fake shrimp and some coconut milk. Olive oil or dende oil for frying. It can be cooking oil too for frying. And we're gonna have a little bit of Old Bay for the seasoning, the shrimp. The food cost is around like $5. It's a little bit on the pricier side. If you don't use shrimp, for example, the price goes down like to $4 a serving. So I'm gonna start by chopping some onion. Just for now, I'm just going to use an eighth of it, like, actually, yeah, I'm going to save this for later. Just going to use a quarter now. So I'm looking for really fine dice. In the recipe you can either use a blender for this or just do it really fine. So we're not going to use a blender today. Really like fine dice. So we're gonna add this to the bowl. In the meantime, we're gonna cut some chives. A little bit. I just washed them. As fine as you can. That's super fine. I'm gonna add that to the bowl as well. Also gonna add the beans. You just gotta rinse them first. Just add the beans soaked for 12 hours or just the canned beans. Okay, so some recipes tell us to take out the skins of the peel of the bean, like this, and the middle part. So you can try to do that. It doesn't need to be perfect. Just try to take out that skin. That's just gonna make the dough we're making nicer. Here. Some of them, the skin is just gonna pop out. Some of them just a little bit harder. Okay. So I just took the skin out of all these black eyed peas. So we're gonna have a bunch of these skins, and this is pretty much it. Just some beans. Now I'm gonna take like a wooden spoon. I'm just gonna squish the beans down and like mix everything around. Really squish them. They should be soft because they were soaked or in a can soaked for a long time. Also, we're gonna add some salt and pepper to this. You know, all the salt and pepper right now. Just a little bit of salt. A little bit more. And some pepper. Yeah, I'm gonna bring like a little bit, like at least like a tablespoon or a tablespoon and a half of beans to this. We need some more beans. Here to aim for the beans this way. Just go and squish them against the bowl. Right down here. Okay, so we're gonna cover this up, just make sure, and for 1 hour we're gonna let it cover for 1 hour. It's gonna get some marine, and we'll see in 1 hour. While that's sitting, we're gonna cut some onion and some bell pepper. Start with the onion. Just fine chopping. Need to be as fine as the previous onion. Set it here for now. And bell pepper. Top part off. Take this out. Of course, I washed this before cutting. And take the bitter part, this wetter part out. I'm gonna use 1/4 of one. Something like this. Then it's just easier for you to set up the cubes. Yeah, that's alright. So we're gonna heat up a pot, like a pan, not a pot, a pan, on like a saucepan, with oil, medium high. Okay, so we're gonna, the oil is hot. We're gonna add the onions and for like a minute in here. Then after this minute, we're gonna add the bell pepper. Just constantly stir this, medium high or medium in a minute, just so it's like translucent. Then we're gonna add the bell pepper with the shrimp. We're gonna add some Old Bay to the shrimp, maybe a little bit of water. It would be a little bit of Old Bay, a little bit of shrimp. I'm gonna add some water, stir it around a little bit and set it aside for like 30 minutes. A bit of water. They're really looking good, and we're just gonna add the bell pepper to this. So you can add just a little bit of salt to this, and a little bit of salt to this too. This around. Stir this around as well. Now, like for 4 more minutes, just make sure it doesn't get burned. We'll have the bell pepper and the onions in the oven, in the stove top. We're gonna add some coconut milk and some breadcrumbs, and we're gonna make a dough out of this. So you can go just hands in, and I'm just gonna go with one hand, because maybe we're gonna need some more breadcrumbs. And just you're gonna see it's gonna start making like a dough out of it. I'm gonna add some more breadcrumbs to this. It's not doughy, it's very liquidy. Won't even come out. Look at this. So this is good, doughy, nice. We're gonna add some salt to this. A little bit of salt. And now with the salt, we want the salt all over the dough, so we're gonna mix that salt around. Okay. Now this doughish part is ready. I'm just gonna set it aside for now. I'm gonna check on the bell pepper. So the bell pepper is ready. I'm just gonna set it aside in a bowl and let it cool down. Okay, so we can take the skin out of this ginger. Just holding this. Okay, ginger and just set this aside for now. Get some garlic. Set this. Set this aside as well. I'm gonna chop a little parsley. You can take some of the thicker stems out. So we can add this bowl. Honestly, we can also add this, the garlic and the ginger to the bowl. You can add all of this either to a blender or a bowl. I'm just going to show it for the people that don't have a blender. Here. You're also going to add some cashews to this. I'm going to cut some bell pepper. No. Any type of pepper, like cayenne pepper, or this is jalapeno. A little bit. Take the seeds and this white part out. This is fine. Let me see, just a little bit. Honestly, just want a little bit. I'm gonna roll some lime, some lemon, can be lime as well, and I'm just gonna take some of this juice out. There's this text with the tongue, really you're gonna take all the juice out. Yep. Just checking for any seeds, but I think we're good. Okay. Now I'm gonna add some cumin and I'm gonna start mixing everything up. Smashing everything together. So, Just a little bit of cumin. And I'm gonna mix. I have this tool, but you can use like a fork. This is gonna help push everything down. I'm gonna throw it back in the cutting board and cut it a little bit so it helps out. You want this like really fine, so it's gonna take us some time. Looking way better, guys. Yep. See, it's almost like it's sticking now. It's way better. This goes back to the bowl. We're gonna add to the bowl the coconut and breadcrumbs, other bowl dough, and we're gonna add the onions and bell pepper in as well. And my hands are clean, so I'm just gonna mix everything together. Look at this, looking good. I'm just gonna put it here, set it aside for now. But this is a lot of filling. Definitely is gonna be enough for us. This looking okay. It's probably tasting wonderful too. So we'll set it aside for now. Okay guys, so I added some breadcrumbs to that dough we made before, and we let it sit for 1 hour. So, and I made pretty much a ball shape with my hands with it. And we're gonna add to some hot oil. There's some leftover debris from previous attempts of frying this ball, this dough. So see, just pretty much a ball shape. We're gonna add this to the hot oil, medium or medium hot, and we want to like keep moving it a little bit, wiggling it, just make sure it doesn't get stuck in the bottom, and also the bottom doesn't burn. And then after like 3 minutes, we're gonna flip it to the other side. Just want to check how it's looking. Looking crispy, golden, but not. We want it a little bit darker. Here on the side, I have 2 papers. Just it's gonna take some of that oil and a plate and a perforated, like a slotted spoon, so perforated spoon. Okay, now it's like goldenish. I'm gonna flip it on the other side. We still want some more time on this side. So now it's looking better. Still the bottom needs some attention, some frying. Right, it's starting to open up. If you want to see this side, it's really good. It's darker brown, but not black yet. Really good coloring. So now we can just leave it here. And the towel, paper towel, is going to soak up some of the oil. Okay guys, so this is Acarajé, this is Vatapá, this is shrimp. I'm going to set the oat bait aside. I added a little bit of that oat bait water in there, and I mix it just a little bit to give it some flavor. Here you can just make like an opening in the middle of the dumpling. You're gonna add some vatapá here, this, and we're also gonna add some shrimp here like this, and that's acarajé. This is a Brazilian dish. It's really famous in Bahia. It's delicious.